Breaking news mga kababayan, ako po, ito na ang mainit at viral na sumabog na balita ngayon. Boying Rimulya, nasupalpal na naman. Talagang pinalagan na si Marcoleta. Pinalagan na ni Marcoleta. Nako, yan yung totoo kaya ito mga kababayan? Nagsagutan daw ito. Nako po. One-on-one Ombudsman Rimulya, kaya ko. Marcos o Duterte, kayang ipakulong? Halaka. Nako. Ano ko yung masasabi ni Rimulya? Kaya ba niyang ipakulong si Marcos? Yan yung tanong Mga kababayan, wala ba itong sisinuhin? Nako po, eto na. Marcoleta, may malakas na revelasyon. May pasabog na hindi kakayanin dito ng mga bangag. Nako po. Panoorin natin mga kababayan yung mga nagko-comment. Rimulya at Marcoleta nagsagutan. Hindi kinaya ni Rimulya si Marcoleta. Yun yung mga nagsasagutan sa comment. Totoo kaya ito? Kasi nga naman mga kababayan tila si Rimulya ay may pinagtatakpan. Sa tuwing si Marcoleta ay kumikilos para sundan yung mga yapak. Kung sino yung mastermind, hinaharang. Nandyan si Tito Soto, nandyan yung mga Dilawan, si Ping Lacson, kung ano-ano ang mga alibay para pigilan si Marcoleta. Kay Gutesa, kay Diskaya, gumamit pa sila ng mga ibang partido. Kinasuhan si Marcoleta sa ombudsman tungkol dito sa, di ba mga kababayan, may kinaso kay Marcoleta sa ombudsman? Pati sa Comelec, perjury daw. Nako, sasagutin kaya ni Boying. Yan yung nasa comment Boying, nasupalpal na naman ni Marcoleta. Totoo kaya ito? Ito kasing papanoorin natin kay Karen Davila. Nako, supalpal daw si Rimulya dito. Panoorin natin. Totoo kaya ito? Magandang pag-usapan ito, kaya sabay-sabay tayong manood at mag-react after the video.
Ilang nakanapondo pa before we finally say, tama na!
Magpapasko na, wala pang nakukulong. Nakikita nyo yun. Diba?
Relax lang kayo. Hindi na rin siguro. I've tried avoiding that also with Martin Romualdez. Tawag na kami mag-usap.
You can be more powerful than the president.
That's scary.
Dito.
Magandang araw. For our one-on-one interview today, makakausap natin ang sinasabi ng ilan na very controversial figure dahil nakasalalay sa kanya ang hustisya, ang hinihingi ng taong hustisya pagdating sa korupsyon. Matindi ang responsibilidad ng taong ito. Ang tanong, kaya ba niyang gawin ito with impartiality, with fairness? Kasama natin ngayon, Ombudsman Boying Rimulya. Ombudsman, hello.
Hello. Gandang araw sa iyo, Karen.
You've been an ombudsman for 2 months now. 2 buwan ka ng
Almost 2
ombudsman.
months. Oh.
Almost 2 months. Kamusta ang trabaho, sir?
Nasa kami naman, we go to work every day. And we try to get something done every day.
Do you find your job to be difficult?
Hindi naman. It's a matter of making decisions and directing people to do the right thing. If I'm given choices, then I have to make the difficult decisions. But they're not as difficult as we can imagine. Kasama yan sa leadership I've always had to make tough decisions all my life. I've been a leader for a big deal of my life, a big part of my life. Kaya I'm used to it.
Tapos na ang buhay ng ICI in 1 to 2 months. Is that correct?
It's possible. It's possible.
Okay.
Siyempre, we're facing into the job. We're getting acclimatized to what we have here. We're hiring more people. And I think by that time, we will be able to handle everything already.
Nirekomenda ng ICI that the Office of the Ombudsman should file cases against Senator Bong Revilla and 10 others. Unang-una, gagawin niyo po ba yun?
Ginagawa na namin. We're doing it. Marami kaming under investigation, pero marami kaming under preliminary investigation na rin. Yung ibig sabihin nun, in-inform na sila na meron silang reklamo at sumagot na sila. At mula doon, titingnan natin kung maggagawa kami ng information na ipa-file namin sa Sandigan Bayan or sa RTC, depending on the cases. So,
Okay. Now, what would the case be against Bong Revilla if we think about it? Pangalawa na niya to.
most of it will be, I think malversation will be the predicate crime, possible plunder. Pero yan, it's something that is ongoing right now. I don't know kung nasaan stage na yung preliminary investigation.
Is there enough evidence against Senator Bong Revilla this time?
I would say so.
Okay. But is that based only on the testimony of former Undersecretary Bernardo?
Meron pa kaming ibang tinitingnan. Our people are actively reinforcing our legal theories. But I cannot tell you everything. It's not our job to tell you everything within our power. Kasi nga, we're fighting lawyers also. May mga abogado rin sila. So we do not want to telegraph punches.
When you were being chosen as ombudsman, there were fears that number one, walang ombudsman na ever politiko, walang ombudsman rin noon na cabinet secretary, ikaw ang bukod tanging kakaiba. So with the case of Senator Bong Revilla, you are both from Cavite, pareho kayong naging politiko doon, ang pamilya ninyo. Doesn't this influence in any way, whether honestly, positively or negatively, to your family's political interests?
Neutral. Family's political interest, it can suffer a bit. Hindi natin alam ang extent ng it will damage us or not. But nagsasuffer yung relationships. Kasi nga, our children know each other. They work with each other. Kaya medyo mahirap din kung titingnan. Kaya lang, hindi ko naman pinili na gawin na itong bagay na to. Ito'y trabaho ko. So, it's something that's part of the job and I have to do it.
Paano po yun pag gano'n, no? Kasi magkakilala kayo ni Senator Bong from Cavite pa. Do you take calls? How do you do it now bilang ombudsman?
Sa totoo lang, walang tumatawag sa akin.
Wala.
Wala.
And would you take calls?
Hindi na rin siguro. I've tried avoiding that also with Martin Romualdez. Na wag na kami mag-usap.
Kayo ni Martin Romualdez, you belong in the same fraternity.
Yes. And he joined when I was the leader of the fraternity. That's very significant in our tradition. But this is life. It's real life and it's for the country. Ano yan eh? Nasa hierarchy of values namin yan. Bansa muna. Country first.
You mentioned former Speaker Martin Romualdez as having accountability.
Of course.
And responsibility for actually keeping Zaldico as the Finance Appropriations Committee Chair.
For choosing him, number one.
For choosing him.
Yes.
Tapos tatlong
Keeping him.
Oo. Pero bilang...
Sabi ko nga, at the very least, gross inexcusable negligence. At the very least, ang kanyang responsibility. He was negligent in not controlling Zaldico's actions. I think that's very apparent.
Or yung sinabi ni Ronnie Puno na hindi siya umuupo doon sa BICAM, small committee, kasalanan ba yun ng speaker?
Hindi negligence yun, di ba? Kaya any which way, ano yan, iba-ibang klaseng responsibility yan. But negligence, but gross inexcusable negligence is criminal in nature already. Criminal na yan. Hindi na yan pwede.
So, ang mangyayari ngayon mga kababayan, hindi po makakasuhan ng plunder itong si Martin Romualdez. Negligence, mga kababayan ko. Kasi yung plunder, lifetime po yan na imprisonment. Pero yung gross negligence, naku po mga kababayan, 1 taon hanggang 6 na taon lang yung penalty niyan sa kulungan. Yun yung yung kung di ako nagkakamali, gross negligence ay very minimal na penalty kung yun yung ikakaso kay Martin Romualdez at kung ang mangyayari kay Zaldico at iba pang mga akusado dito na tinutumbok ng investigation ay plunder na lifetime po yan. Pero itong si Martin Romualdez, naku, gross negligence ay very minimal lang po ito. Naku, ano kayo masasabi ng mga tao? Bakit ganun lang? Eh, di ba tinuturo si Martin Romualdez na mastermind dito at yung si pinsan niya, ayun, gross negligence lang. Mga kababayan, matindi po ito. Panorin natin. May naaamoy yung mga nagko-comment. Ba't ganun?
Isang tabi. Kasi nga, yung gross inexcusable negligence is something that's also criminal already in nature.
Kahit ano man ang gastos?
Matindi po ito. Eh, napaka nun, mga kababayan, gross negligence. Naku, mga kababayan ko. Eh, mamaya, titignan natin kung anong ibig sabihin nun. Kung ano ang mas malala, plunder o gross negligence. Tuloy natin. Naku po, matindi po ito. May something.
Ano yan, that's all the alternative. But we're looking at other theories. And we're looking at certain conspiracy theories that happen. But ano lang yan, saka na natin i-flesh out yan. Kasi nga, maaga pa sa laro.
Now let's talk about Zaldico and his videos. Do you believe them?
Parang AI eh.
Yung video,
kasi marami yung boses niya, parang masyadong hindi, parang ako lang.
O yun, ayun kay Rimulya, hindi daw siya naniniwala dun sa video. Naku po, ang dami na po. Ginoo. Hindi po siya AI. May shadow light po siya. At ang AI po, malalaman nyo po yun. Imposible na hindi nyo alam ang comparison between AI at saka yung original.
When I saw many parts of it, parang hindi ako masyadong at home sa mga ginagawa, sa mga sinasabi.
But
kasi,
do you believe...
Tsaka ang dami kasing cuts eh. Alam mo yan, para maging acceptable yan, dapat dyan, tuloy-tuloy. Dapat dyan, walang putol. Dapat dyan yung ganun talaga, yung talagang offhand sinasabi na walang censorship. Pero pag niredact mo yan, meron ka tinatago. Ano tinatago nila?
Pero may mga binanggit si Zaldico.
Pero maraming bagay doon na may factual basis. That we're taking the lead on that. Siyempre.
Like what, for example?
Ano yan, alam mo, dito, yung mga fact-finding teams, they're all aware of that. And they're not setting aside anything. And they have no instruction to do anything like that. I don't even know many of them in the fact-finding teams. Pero I trust them with the job. This is an institution, Karen. It's not about me. It's about how the institution acts on this problem.
But for example, binanggit ni Zaldico na tinawagan siya ni former Budget Secretary Nina Pangandaman, humihingi ang Pangulo ng 100 billion pesos worth of projects. Si allegedly, alam na ni Yusek Adrian Bersamin, di ba? Alam natin ang buong kwentong to. Iniimbestigahan ba ng Office of the Ombudsman, number 1, si former E.S. Bersamin, former Budget Secretary Pangandaman? Ongoing.
Yes.
Pati si Yusek Adrian.
Ongoing.
Yusek Trijev.
Ongoing. Ano yan eh? Nasa responsibility namin yan. It's not all about power. It's about responsibility. You cannot set aside anything that will seem to harm the Filipino people. Dapat yan, lahat yan, aware ka. Ongoing lahat yan.
Oo. Pero kung ongoing ito, it means ang naging basehan ng investigasyon is the testimony of Zaldico.
Meron pang iba eh. Meron kasing mga statements pa si Bernardo. May statements sila Alcantara. Meron pa naman ibang statements na naging basehan. Kaya if they coincide, then kasama na yan.
What is your relationship with former Executive Secretary Bersamin?
It was good in the beginning. But we had our disagreements already later on.
But then how can he feel sure that you will not use your office, the powers against him now?
Hindi ako abusado, Karen. I've never been known to abuse any of the powers given to me in my whole life. This is my 7th position in government. And not a single case was filed against me.
Naniniwala ho ba kayo mga kababayan? Paano po yung pag-aresto kay PRRD? Hindi ba yun na abuse discretion of power mga kababayan? Hindi ba yun ang ginawa nila na si PRRD dinala sa dahig? Hindi ba yun pagmamalabis ng kapangyarihan? Yari.
How I conducted myself in office. All of them are wala naman sa aking reklamong gano'n eh. Hindi ako abusive. I've never been abusive about power. Kasi nga, I look at it as responsibility. And Karen, more than anything else, I'm a leader of people. That's just what I do. I lead people.
Pabalikan ko itong Zaldico, alright? So you felt it was AI and yet...
Hindi naman, may mga portion doon na parang AI yung sing-song na boses. Hindi, yun lang nakita ko. Hindi ko pinanood lahat eh.
But you are not saying it's untrue or true.
Hindi ko sinasabi yun. Kaya lang nga, Supreme Court nga nag-decide na, di ba? Sinabi nga nila, pag ikaw ay fugitive from justice, you're not allowed judicial relief. Di ba? Kasi nga, ano yan eh, hindi ka naman pwedeng pumunta sa social media at yun na lang avenue mo. Dapat dyan, yung justice system, igalang mo. If you're a fugitive, may tinatago ka.
But motu proprio, iniimbestigahan nila based on his testimony.
Hindi, kasi ano yan,
Wait lang mga kababayan parang si Pampilo Lacson. Di ba nadawit po si BBM sa 100 billion na insertion. Nag-abogado agad si Lacson. Ay hindi siya kabali diyan. Naniniwala ako at hindi guilty si BBM. Si Ping Lacson pa lang sinabi niya na ganun na sinuplak na agad yung mga nagsasabi na si BBM ay dawit. Doon sa mga sinabi ni Zaldico. Dito naman si Remulla sinasabi, ay AI yan. Pero hindi ko sinasabi na na lahat AI ba't ganun? Ano yun, 50-50 na artificial, 50-50 na original? Nako po mga kababayan ko.
Everybody's aware here naman eh. Pag yan lumabas sa Facebook, at yan ay napag-usapan ng kahit konti lang, diretso na yan dyan sa mga lamesa ng investigador natin.
How can you bring Zaldico home?
Maraming paraan yan, Karen. Maraming paraan yan. Social media will play a big part.
Okay. But then, kanselado na passport niya. Most likely...
Immigration to immigration.
Okay.
Immigration is one issue. Diba? Maraming pa ibang paraan.
Paano kung nasa Portugal siya? Walang extradition treaty.
The Portuguese might get very mad if they know that there's somebody who committed crimes or are hiding there. I don't think they want that thing for their country.
But do you really want to bring him home? Kasi ang pananaw ng ilan, ayaw naman nila iuwi si Zaldico kasi ang daming alam nun.
Hindi, gusto ko siya iuwi. Ako. Gusto ko siya iuwi.
Ikaw personally?
Siyempre.
What can you offer him pag umuwi siya?
Hindi, yun, mixed bag na yan.
Mga kababayan, naniniwala ba ho kayo kay Boying Remulla sa mga sinasabi niya na gusto niyang iuwi ito? Sa tingin nyo, gagawin ni Remulla ito mga kababayan? Matinding pag-usapan ito. Naku po. Nakakapagtaka hanggang ngayon 2 months na wala pang nangyayari sa kanyang sa kanyang trabaho mga kababayan ko. Tuloy pa natin.
Yung immunity, mga ganon, mahirap muna pag-usapan yan. Kasi nga, hindi ko alam saan siya manggagaling kung anong kanyang linya. So wala pa kami pinag-uusapan. Kaya wala ko iaalok. Umuwi muna siya.
At dapat alam ng tao, kahit na dati siyang congressman, even if he's resigned, pwede nyo pa rin siyang kasuhan.
Siyempre.
Yeah.
He committed it when he was in public office. The crimes were committed when he was in public office.
The PCIJ came out with an investigative report that in effect, they claim that from 2023 to 2025, clearly nearly 1.2 trillion pesos in allocable funds have gone to Ilocos Norte, Congressman Sandro Marcos, and 1st District Representative Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, no?
Follow the evidence. Follow the evidence. Where the evidence leads us, we will have to go. Hindi na kami mamimili niyan. where the evidence leads us, we will go there. We will bring it to the proper forum.
And even the speaker.
Yes, wala naman akong choice eh. It's something that it's a responsibility that I have to the Filipino people. And ano pa pang gusto ko mangyari sa buhay ko kung gano'n, di ba? I mean, apektado na nga ang pamilya ko, apektado mga anak ko. Pero they know that it's a job that I have to do. I chose to be to be the ombudsman. I applied for it. I had to go through a lot of things to become the ombudsman. And we will do what it takes.
Pero paano po ang Pilipino may utang na loob? Kultura po natin yan. Kapag ang sarili ng anak ng Pangulo, we're talking about the President's son, are you saying that you can honestly just not look at it from a personal point of view?
Kaya ko.
Kaya mo?
Kaya ko.
Bakit? Saan nanggaling ito?
Ganun talaga ang ano eh. I've been a leader all my life and I have to make hard decisions. That's part of leadership eh. Huwag mong tatanggapin yung responsibility kung di mo kayang gumawa ng decision na mahirap. I think that's basic to everybody. Anybody who applies for this office, dapat kaya nila yan.
Will you be using the PCIJ report?
Gagamitin nila namin yan. Alam mo naman, siyempre, sa umpisa yan, parang hearsay yan sa umpisa. Pero, pag binigyan kami ng supporting document, then we will validate the documents.
It becomes lead.
Then we start investigating. Siyempre, titingnan muna namin yung field of vision na dapat namin malaman.
Kasi si Zaldico, nagbanggit rin siya ng bahay sa Forbes Park na allegedly inutusan, binili ng dating speaker at dun daw ang tambakan ng pera. That address exists. Are they investigating that too?
Hindi ko pa. Siguro. Kasi sila may hawak. Kasi I didn't watch the whole Zaldico thing. Kasi nung nakita ko na ayaw niya na umuwi, tapos ganito, sabi ko, why should I give credence to this? Diba? Or why should I take it seriously? As a lead, pwede. Pero, syempre, our investigators are on it. Wala nang bababaya rito. We're not about to give up on anything. Basta, titingnan natin how credible things can be.
Sinabi rin po sa akin, Speaker Martin Romualdez, na si PBBM ang nag-utos sa kanya na bilhin ang bahay sa number 30 Tamarind Street para gamitin bilang bagsakan at imbakan ng pera mula sa mga SOP, collection at deliveries na para sa Pangulo.
So the ICI also suggested 10 others. A lot of them are not known personalities anymore, but the ICI also recommended that you do case build-ups on former Senate President Francis Escudero, Mark Villar, Nancy Binay, and Senator Grace Poe. Pag-usapan natin si former Senate President Francis Escudero, may sapat bang ebidensya?
We're doing the case build-up now. We're doing preliminary work. Lahat ng kailangan gawin, ginagawa. So, I'd rather stop there about this case.
Pero may higit pa bang impormasyon maliban doon sa sinabi ni Bernardo na humihingi si Maynard Ngu na kaibigan niya?
Every day may pumapasok sa amin na information. And I cannot speak about details. Kasi nga, it will prejudice our case. And it will not do any good.
How do you assure that Ombudsman Remulla has no agenda?
I have no agenda. I'll be 71 by the time I finish this term. And I have to skip an election at least. So I'll be more than 75 years old by the time I'm able to run again. So it's not really within my horizon anymore. Hindi na. This is already the culmination of a good legal career that I've had all my life. I think that I've already done justice to the license given to me by the Filipino people to practice law.
Now, what about Mark Villar? The Villars, sources tell me, have felt pinag-iinitan sila ng gobyernong ito.
Hindi naman. Kaya lang wala kasing, naging manhid na yung tao kasi sa mga issue ng corruption sa maraming tao. And meron naman mga tao, they do corruption with impunity. And nagkatagpo lahat yan. Nagkatagpo-tagpo, nagkatama-tama. Ano gagawin natin? Nandun naman yung ebidensya. No? Inaano naman yan, kinakalap yan. People are doing a case build-up. And it's all about the evidence, Karen. We will not invent anything here. Wala kami i-imbentohin dito. Everything will be about evidence.
So yan mga kababayan, ano masasabi niyo po kay Boyeng Rimulya? Na wala daw siyang pangarap kasi ang sabi ng iba baka nako tatakbuhin sa politika. Nako, gagamitin si Rimulya para alisin ang mga Duterte. Impeachment na ito. Yun yung mga plano. Nako po, ano kayo sabi ng mga komento dito? Ito po yung mga komento ng mga kababayan natin. Check natin. For Miss Karen, we love when you interview, no waste time. All of our question in mind are answered. The way you interview, you are number one journalist in our country. To our beloved ombudsman, I salute you. You have heart on what you do and for our country, and meaning I think you still have purpose in life. Pag si Miss Karen talaga, hindi ko pinapalagpas panoorin. Trusting justice will be served. Totoo kaya ito? Hindi dapat ituring na kultura ang utang na loob. Siguro mas mainam na maituturing na kultura ay kusang loob. Good job. I agree, hindi dapat i-disclose when you building a case. Yes, formally open the floodgates of massive corruption. Good luck, Sir Boyeng, sa lahat ng mga ginagawa mo. Since you were in DOJ, pinahanga niyo po ako. Aba, ang daming humahanga kay Boyeng. Totoo kaya ito, mga kababayan ko, na maraming humahanga kay Boyeng Rimulya?
You still remember
ano masasabi niyo po? Totoo ba na ginawa lahat ni Boyeng Rimulya sa fair justice? Yan yung mga tanong eh. Baka naman ginagamit lang si Rimulya, yun yung mga tanong dito. Baka naman bending dalo na naman ito. Nako po.
No, I mean, he was formerly a DPWH secretary. Are you receiving evidence related to when he was the secretary of the DPWH?
Meron din naman.
Or as a legislator?
Sabay-sabay yan eh. Karen, I have around 8 teams working right now. Throughout, maybe more than that. And I'll be organizing more teams when the year comes. I'm hiring 100 new lawyers. Not really new, but at least 2 to 3 year old experience. Pero ang mahalaga, may energy tsaka may idealism.
Oo, at may budget kayo.
Meron. May budget ng ombudsman. Hindi na puno ang plantilla namin kaya pwede kami mag-hire. Usually namin sa DBM yung mga details, pero we can hire people.
What about Nancy Binay? Is there enough evidence with Nancy Binay?
It's undergoing evaluation and case build-up. Ganun pa rin yan.
Oo.
Dito kasi, pag may dumating na complaint, o kaya mayroong information na dumating sa amin ng ICI, it's first evaluated, then we do a fact-finding. Then before and after that, then we file a case kung meron. But we are not in a hurry to file cases. Kasi nga, ang sinasabi namin, haste makes waste. Baka mamaya, file ng kaso, ma-dismiss naman, para gumawa ka ng antivirus mo, di ba? Hindi natin gustong gawin niya. You do not inject people like that.
Oo.
Dapat dito, yung tama lang. Gagawin natin yung dapat.
When it comes to Senator Grace po, nagsalita siya eh. Sinabi siya walang kinalaman doon. She attended the ICI. Are you going to use testimonies, by the way, in the ICI hearings?
Pwede, but we're doing the fact-finding. Kasi nga, all of this will rely on the evidence that we can present. We will not file a case basta wala kaming ebidensya. O kaya mahina ang ebidensya. We will try to do a case build-up every case that we file. Ayaw natin mag-aksaya ng oras ng tao. Tsaka, we do not want to overburden the court with very weak cases. Dapat dito talaga, hinog na hinog. Ang philosophy ng sinasabi ko sa kanila, let's build up the case, let's do a prima facie standard, para pag tayo nag-file ng kaso, pwede natin i-continuous trial yan. Ready tayo lagi.
I want you to set the record straight with former DPWH Undersecretary Bernardo. May mga kumakalat na number 1, bata mo raw siya.
Luckily, there's MAPAD for every single...
Kaya naman pala eh, bata mo pala eh. Yung kasi yung banat kay kay Boying, bata naman pala ni Alcantara. Bata si Alcantara, naku po. Matindi po ito mga kababayan ko. Tuloy natin, bata niya daw sa Alcantara eh. Totoo kaya ito?
Only met him in the Senate to do a case build-up. Every case that we filed. Ayaw natin mag-aksaya ng oras ng tao. Tsaka, we do not want to overburden the court with very weak cases. Dapat dito talaga, hinog na hinog. Ang philosophy ang sinasabi ko sa kanila, let's build up the case, let's do a prima facie standard, para pag tayo nag-file ng kaso, pwede natin i-continuous trial yan. Ready tayo lagi.
I want you to set the record straight with former DPWH Undersecretary Bernardo. May mga kumakalat na number 1, bata mo raw siya. Number 2,
only met him in the Senate during the investigation.
And may ibang nagtatanong, why is the government giving him so much credence when he has what they call a creeping affidavit? Pabago-bago daw ang affidavit.
Ano yan? I delegated that already to the DOJ to actually vet him properly. Kasi nga, bago pa lang kami rito. And I trust the people there. May tiwala ako sa mga kumikilos dyan. The people who are there, who work with me, I trust them.
Do you see how powerful you have become?
I look at it more as a responsibility. Ang power kasi leaves many impressions on people. But it's really how responsible I have to be about the powers given to my office. Pero personally, it doesn't change anything. I live the same way that basta ganito lang ang buhay ko. Every day is a new day, and every day we have to win. We have to make a victory every day.
But then,
pero mga kababayan, tiklop kay Marcoleta ito. Kasi nga dahil nga po sa restitution, doon sa bending dalo ni Erwin Tulfo, sablay ito eh. Kaya tiklop kay Marcoleta itong si Boying Rimulya eh. Am I right, Mr. Chair? Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. O yari, nasira ang pagka-ombudsman mo. Sa restitution pa lang ni Marcoleta, hindi mo na masagot-sagot.
then politicians, a lot of them are at the edge of their seats. Ang dami sa kanila, siguro iniisip, grabe pag pinag-initan ako ng ombudsman. Because in the past, may mga ombudsman, nakaupo ang kaso, delayed, alam mo yon, hindi really gumagalaw, kahit na motopropyo dapat ang investigasyon. Pero with you, medyo non-stop, ang dami sunod-sunod.
Oo, ano yan eh, Karen, ang iniiwasan natin dito, now, ma-weaponize ang opisina. It should never be that way. I don't want mud wrestling to happen, to make it a mud wrestling arena.
Oh, wait lang, pero ang mga nayayari dito, yung mga Duterte Alliance. Tignan si Bato, may ICC warrant of arrest. Si Bongo. Yun yung inaano nila, si Chis Escudero. Si Villanueva. Alam naman natin na yan ay mga pumirma sa no to impeachment. Kaya nayayari si Boying Rimulya kasi may kinigilingan. Yun yung sabi ng mga komento. Na bata-bata ni BBM. Ginagamit ni BBM itong si Boying Rimulya para yung kalaban ni BBM, gaya ng mga Duterte, mawala sa politika. Kaya si PRRD nandun, nakulong sa ICC, kinidnap. Yun yung sinasabi ng komento.
Arena. Maraming politiko dito sinusubukan nila mag-away, ginagamit ang ombudsman. That's not my cup of tea. Ang sa akin, pag meron silang violation of law, at na-damage ang Filipino people, may damage sa taong bayan, talagang hahabulin namin yan. Kasi nga, ano po bang gagawin natin sa bansa natin kung di natin aayusin? Ang dami-dami nating problema bilang isang bansa.
Anong nangyari kay PRRD? Ba't ginamit mo yung kapangyarihan mo? Tapos, pinakidnap nyo kay doon sa ICC. Nawala yung soberanya ng Pilipinas. Nakidnap ito. Isang presidente, pinakidnap. Ayun, nandun. Diba, mga kababayan, kilala natin si PRRD na magaling na presidente. Ayun, nandun. pinagkaisahan nila.
And it's about time we started changing our culture. Kasi nga, yung impunity of corruption has to stop. At the only way to stop it para magkaroon ng deterrent is to have people punished for it.
So yan mga kababayan, anong masasabi nyo dito? Kaya na tumiklop kay Marcoleta ito kasi nga parang may kinikilingan. Pagka malapit na sa Malacanang, malapit na kay Meme pinipigil nila. Kay Gutesa, kay Diskaya, ayun. Tapos si Marcoleta, siya pa yung kinasuhan ngayon sa ombudsman. Perjury daw, isipin nyo, ang daming mga korap. Tapos si Marcoleta pa yung hinahabol nila. Nasaan yung hustisya dito? Injustice yung nangyayari. Imbes ang mga nakukulong ay yung mga magnanakaw, si Marcoleta ang hinahabol. Di ba mga kababayan? Anong masasabi nyo dito? Naniniwala ba kayo na si Boying Rimulya ay para sa kapakanan ng mga Pilipino? O kapakanan ng mga Marcos? At kapakanan ng mga may utak dito sa trilyones na pagnanakaw sa kaban ng bayan? I-comment nyo po. Okay? I-comment nyo kung saan po kayo. Ang location nyo po mga kababayan. At kokomentan ko po kayo isa-isa. Ako si The Wonders Philippines. Salamat po ng marami. Mabuhay.